Today, Senator Maria Cantwell helped welcome a new affordable childcare facility made possible by a $2 million grant. What we know coming up.
We're tracking the possibility for snow squalls this evening and a round of snow moving through the region overnight.
With the Northwest receiving a record low snowpack this winter, what happens to all the money and resources budgeted to help maintain wintry road conditions? Find out tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We have been rather snow-starved this winter. KREM 2's Cody Proctor spoke to Spokane city officials to see where things stand now as far as the budget and material usually needed to remove snow go.
Even though this winter has been rather dismal so far, Spokane city officials say staff are still staying busy, even without snow removal.
According to the city, staff are still on their 20-hour daily staffing schedule. But instead of plowing, they're doing other things like street sweeping, leaf pickup, and maintaining equipment. In addition, not as much material's been used. According to Public Works spokesperson Kirsten Davis, the city's only used about 83,000 gallons of liquid de-icer, which is about 7% compared to their average. And they've also used only about 2,500 tons of solid material, like sand and granular de-icer. That is actually about 82% of their average.
We built an additional storage shed at our streets department that will hold more material, and so we can keep it longer throughout the year. So that basically will just be stockpiled there as we move into next year.
Now, as far as budget, Davis says that's harder to track since their winter operations straddle 2 budget years.
Now, of course, winter is not over yet. We're only into the second half of February, and according to the city, their winter operations season runs until March 15th. In Spokane, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
On that note, let's talk weather right now with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. He joins us from the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Jeremy, things still dry so far. What can we expect?
Mark, we're actually not dry out here on the back patio any longer. Snow is flying and snow is flying downtown, but it's pretty light in nature. Winds picked up a little bit along with it, but once again, not that intensity of a snow squall. Instead, it's just this little storm, little patch moving through, but it's hitting us right about at sunset, making things pretty dark. You can see the snow coming down, and with temperatures dropping overnight, it might create a couple of slick spots on the road. You'll move off to the north, our band that moved through earlier, dying down all the way up in the mountains, down to the south, activity dying down. A little storm near Steptoe. That storm moved out of Plummer, making its way up to Coeur d'Alene and Hayden. Once again, these aren't doing too much. They're trying their best to stick, but it's not really happening. That sticking likely comes from an overnight round. It moves in from the south after 10 p.m. and hits us quick. That one to me is the most interesting, and that's the reason we're under winter weather advisories through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, another round of scattered pop-up showers. But those winter weather advisories that take us through the morning are interesting. Could get upwards of an inch of snow here in Spokane, likely less than that, but could still have some impacts on that morning commute. We'll talk that chance coming up in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show tonight. In our Boomtown series, we track growth across the region, including the growing workforce in the inland Northwest. Today, Senator Maria Cantwell visited Spokane to announce plans for a new affordable child care center to meet the needs of working parents. Our Regan Gallo is in the Hilliard neighborhood with the details.
On the corner of Haven and Wellesley in Hilliard is the future location of an affordable child care center that will offer space up to 100 children. The goal to offer more flexible child care hours for Spokane's working families.
Spokane's Northeast Community Center report that 85% of people say they would be able to work more or find a better job if they had the right child care. With this new child care facility, there will also be up to 37 workforce housing units. I am told child care tuition and housing units will be offered below market rate. Why Hilliard? Local officials and business leaders say there is an increasing workforce in Hilliard who need flexible childcare hours like nights and weekends. One local parent says this will open up countless doors for her family.
And I have kids with special needs, and so this community center opens up so many doors for me. It opens up so many doors for fellow parents that I know that, not only have children with special needs that are like, oh, I don't know if my kid's the daycare is going to call me in 5 minutes and say, hey, we can't do this.
How can you make an investment in a community that then allows it to grow economically? So this is great that it's childcare.
Officials say they're hoping to break ground later this fall with an opening date in 2028. I'm reporting in Hilliard, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Spokane police said today a man's body was pulled from the Spokane River yesterday afternoon. That body was found in the area of the 600 block of East Front Avenue in the University District. Callers in that area saw something in the water and called police. So far, that person's identity has not been released. An investigation is now underway into deputies who shot and killed a man in Moses Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says last night their deputies and Moses Lake police were searching a property, and they say they found a man armed with a rifle inside a small barn. The Sheriff's Office says the man came out of the barn and aimed it at officers. Then deputies from the Grant County Sheriff's Office shot and killed the man. Now an outside agency will be investigating the shooting since both the Sheriff's Office and Police Department were involved. The Grant County coroner confirmed to KREM 2 News the identity of the man who was killed. His name is Aaron Amon, and he was 33 years old. No autopsy was conducted today, they said. A car crashed into a power pole in northwest Spokane today, knocking out power to hundreds of people. Take a look. That crash happened on West Rowan Avenue. You can see that power pole is snapped in half. At the time, a Vista showed the crash knocked out power for about 300 people in the area. During the crash, the driver also hit a fire hydrant. And that fire hydrant ended up flooding a church where Jules Helping Hands Morning Star Shelter is located. Tonight, they said many of the donations to their shelter are ruined, and they especially need more blankets now. Just this afternoon, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown introduced an interim emergency ordinance that would prohibit the use of private property for detention facilities in the city of Spokane. This comes as the Department of Homeland Security seeks to get new ICE detention facilities. The ordinance would restrict private property owners from leasing to DHS, ICE, or other entities for detention purposes in commercial, industrial, and residential zones across the city. If passed, the ordinance would go into effect immediately and be in place for 1 year. It could then be permanently incorporated into the City of Spokane's development regulations as part of the comprehensive plan update. All right, don't go anywhere just yet. We still have more headlines to cover here on KREM 2 News at 5. Coming up after the break, Spokane's double-decker buses hit the streets again today, but not for passengers just yet. The reason why coming up in 3 minutes. And a bit later, we remember the work and legacy of civil rights activist and political figure, Reverend Jesse Jackson.